There we go. Okay. So yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and I always thank Shane DeBerry for that because they went up the cinematics team, the proper cinematics team, which was did all the 3D rendering and stuff, went up there first, and they couldn't do it because of the amount of time it takes cinematics to make that their amazing stuff that they do, but it wouldn't fit with Matt and Trey's thing. So our little machinima team went up there, and we'd only been assembled. I'd only put them together literally like 6 weeks before that. So they were all brand new to Blizzard. Joanna had worked at Blizzard before, but the other two were brand new to Blizzard. And I didn't tell them where we were going, so we'll talk about that next week. But yeah, so that was, we went up and did some all-nighters up there and made some good stuff. Time to grab some cold pizza. Go ahead. So the episode was just after shooting the Wrathgate cinematics. No, it was before that. Because the Wrathgate piece wasn't done until we moved over to campus. We were still at 131 before that. Wrathgate came many years later. Wrathgate piece came out around the same time that StarCraft Zerg, StarCraft 2 Zerg, or StarCraft, yeah, the Zerg campaign for StarCraft 2. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have a really good talking episode next week, and we're gonna do it at the last Friday of every week. Right now, I'm thinking about having them every other Friday, but we'll see how the first one goes because next week will be the first one. We haven't done them before, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes and seeing what I can learn from it in order to make the show even better. Because that's what we're always doing. We're always trying to find new things and better things. It wasn't okay. It wasn't removed. I don't know what that means. For the Swarm, Zerg is best. My cousin played mean Protoss game though. But it's locked behind so many different quest chains. Sounds awesome. Cool. Alrighty. Also, because one of the things we'll also talk about next Friday is everybody always asks about everything behind me here that's in the room. So I have all this. I also have a bunch of stuff upstairs that I'll have to pull down here, and we'll talk about them. What the stories are behind them and stuff like that. And I do have to. I'm actually glad it's a week off because I do have to search a lot of old photos for a lot of things that relate to the things that are in the picture in behind our room back here, like all the stuff back there. In fact, if you look in the far back where the color pictures or color pieces of paper in the box frame, those are actually all of the scripts for the South Park episode signed by Matt and Trey. And then the champagne bottle in it is the champagne that they sent us when we were nominated for the Emmy. And then the little white card next to it by the Y in Joy is the note that they sent with it. And then there's other pictures of us with them up there, which is the one on the wall right there. I don't think no, that's not what I wanted. But yeah, I'll have to set up a whole thing to talk about some of this stuff. Well, it was 1819 though. Wrathgate Cinematic was still there, but you basically had to complete all the quests. Did they? I don't think they removed it. I don't think they would. But okay, because it was actually quite a good piece of the story. Oh, you have to remember, Make Love Not Warcraft was, God, 12 years ago now? 14 years ago? Something like that? Because it was in their 10th season. Oh, did they really remove everything? That's sad. Huh. I never played Northrend, and that's a silly story. Northrend was sold to me. Well, like everything that they talked about for Northrend was that it was about raiding, and I didn't raid. I didn't. I've only raided. I've talked about it before. I've only raided once in Warcraft, World of Warcraft, with other people, and it was a terrible experience. So I never raided again. What I did was I played Warcraft, World of Warcraft as a single player. So what I did was I never went to Northrend. It's still grayed out on my board. What I did though is I still leveled up to the level I needed to get to be past it to go to the Maelstrom, you know, and I did go into I did farm a lot of leather because there was no leather in Northrend, and I did sell a lot of leather. So I had a lot of money and I had all the experience. And when I had enough, I went to the Maelstrom. I took a picture, a video of me waiting to jump into the Maelstrom. I brought up my maps. I showed that I never went to Northrend and never wanted to. And I sent it over to J. Allen Brock, and I said, I am going to the Maelstrom. I have never played Northrend because I do not raid. And there was nothing there. From everything that you guys said, there was nothing there for me. And then I jumped in the video, I jump into the Maelstrom and I continue the game on from there. And apparently that set off a bunch of meetings where they discussed whether people should be allowed to do that or not. They decided they should, but it just was funny to me that I caused controversy simply because I don't raid. And Northrend was all about raiding. I'm not a raiding person. You got auto-modded, did he? I'm not seeing it. Oh wait, no, that's no. No, nobody got auto-modded. That sounds like it was during internal testing, because I don't remember that. Raiding ever to be a must to... It wasn't that it was a must. It was... I was trying to prove a point that there are players out there that don't raid. And to do a whole expansion that was pretty much sold as a raider's paradise meant that there was nothing there for me. So I was trying to prove a point. But yeah. No, I'm not trying to catch up on those raids now. I don't raid. I like to play single person games. I know that sounds silly. It's just like even the stuff we're playing is I love the fact that every game that Blizzard ever did had a multiplayer, but it also had a single player. And I would go and play those single player games. No, you should. I don't think that censored anybody. I think that's fine. It showed up, so I think you're good. It didn't ask me to approve it, and I don't think Savvy's here, so. Well, I stood up for the kind of games I like to play. I was trying to make a personal point. I wasn't trying to like cause controversy or stuff like that. I was just like, you know what? You sold that product as a raiders, the best thing for raiders. I'm not a raider, therefore I didn't even go there. You know, so no. Wrath is when I went back to the university, so I didn't get to raid much. To see who has a peak raider. I didn't raid until I got to Northrend. I finally met a guild that was helpful. Oh, cool. Yeah, it was just not for me. That's all there was to it. You know, the one time I raided was with a group from Blizzard, and Frank and other people were in there, and I'm just playing the game, and I picked something up and got completely lambasted for it, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna get yelled at just because I picked something up. You know, you could have just said, can I have that, and I would have given it to you. But yeah, so the rules of rating and who gets what and stuff like that are just silly to me. I had heard a bunch of MMO companies found out that like 60% or so of MMO players were basically solo or 5 people or less groups. Did you spark that? Did that spark that? No, it was just me playing. It's just about me playing the way I want to play. It seems to have sparked idea in their heads. Not everyone raids. Maybe we should look at it. Yeah. Well, they did have a meeting on it, you know, and they had several meetings on it, and the powers to be over on the WoW team took the fact that I did it seriously. So I think that's a good thing, you know, but it's just like the whole thing is, I know that we teased it in the South Park episode, is I like the grind. I like going out and getting 5,000 boars. I like going out and getting 50 candles. You know, I play games to do that, to do things that are not things I do every day. You know, it's like the game that I've been playing for forever, which is Diggy's Adventure on my iPad. It's just a grinding game. You dig through the blocks, you know, and I've done dig through the blocks for like 10 years now. And I'm at level 832 on that game. And it's literally just a 5-minute game every day. In fact, I have it right here in front of me. Yes, Diggy's Adventure. Little one-person game that you just sit and play. You can't argue that. Yeah, I just like simple games like that. The simpler the better. That's why even the game that we're working on here is, as we are working through it, and I'm still, and I apologize because I was never a coder. So that's taken us back a little bit, because I'm trying to learn how to build an inventory system for it, which hopefully we'll have up and working soon, you know. But I like the old games like Secret of Mana and the original Zelda, and you know, those games where it's just top down, going around and adventuring and doing all that stuff. I have never played Hearthstone, and wait, you mean the card game Hearthstone? I played it a couple times, and I'm just like, but I'm not a big card games. I mean, I got kind of burned out on card games real early when with Magic the Gathering, because we used to play literally every free moment. You see somebody on the floor at Blizzard, you know, playing, and I just burned myself out on it, and I'm just like, I really don't care about this game, you know. So card games are just not anything that really attracted me. But people like Ben Brode and people like that, they were amazing at them. So it's just like, okay, well, I'm over here, I'll play my little single player games, you know. But Ben was amazing, you know, and I always tease Ben because, you know, people who know Ben will know exactly what I'm saying. Is you can hear Ben laugh from space. When Ben laughs, it is so loud. Well, we still have the list of games is still pretty long. You know, so because on the list of games, if we do the Dark Portal, we still have Dark Portal, Diablo, Lost Vikings 2, StarCraft, Diablo 2, Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, World of Warcraft, which we have to figure how long we're going to play that, StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty, Diablo 3, and then Hearthstone. No, and that's not even counting the non-Blizzard games, which I haven't put on here yet, which I still have to put on. So after Hearthstone, then there would be let's see, Rime, Dreadnought, then we'll have to play RuneScape at some point. That was the last company I worked for, because I was running the creative services team for RuneScape, for Jagex rather, which was all the RuneScape products. And then by then we'll have our little game done, and I'll play our game. So you can't say finish Diablo 2 until you hit 99. Really, why is that? Because technically I can say I finished Diablo 2 anytime. I can play for 5 minutes again. Okay, I'm done. Max level. Well, I'm not going to play it on hell setting. That's for damn sure. I tried that once on a PS5, and that was just like, nope. The thing about Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, I think that the cinematics we made for them were amazing. There's a lot of stuff hidden in them too, so we'll talk about those when we get there. Did you ever think of how the games you worked on would influence people all around the world? Even an awkward, tired little kid? No, we didn't. What we did, and I've talked about this before, in that the only point that we tried to make was to make really good games that we wanted to play. If we didn't want to play them, then we shouldn't have been making them, and that was kind of the rule. So we kind of kept to that forever, and I think that's more what we thought about than, oh, can we sell it in to everywhere. We weren't thinking about that. We were just thinking about making a good game. And anybody that's ever worked for me, or any company I've ever worked for, is I've had these discussions 1,000 times where I just go, okay, well, where is the game fun? Is it a good game? And if the answer is no, then why are we making it? Why would I waste all my time working on a game that I don't want to play? But no, we weren't thinking about, at first, we didn't even think anybody was really paying attention to our games. So, because when we released Warcraft 3, about 1,000 people, right? I mean, I'm trying to remember what the numbers were. When we released Warcraft 3, I think about 1,000 people showed up to the midnight launch of it, and we signed boxes for them and stuff like that. And then I think it was a month or two later when we released World of Warcraft, like 7,000 people showed up, and to the point to where Fry's ran out of boxes. So we had they had a bunch of boxes at the office for employees, and we went and got those boxes and brought them to Fry's so that everybody that showed up would still get a box, because that was back when you still had boxes on shelves, and so that's when we realized that there was a problem, because we expected 1 million people in World of Warcraft and in the first year, and it ended up we got 1 million people like in the first month. So there was the IT had server building parties and stuff like that. So because we had to build more servers to be able to handle the workload, we also had to stop selling the game at one point so that we could catch up with hardware. Yeah. We do not use the neat word here. Did you ever play any of the Interplay Fallout games? No, I did not play any of them. But Interplay did a lot of really good work. In fact, if it wasn't for Interplay, Blizzard wouldn't exist, because we were Silicon and Synapse before that, and Interplay gave us all of our work, or most of our work. I'll be right back. doop, 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 doo. Okay. I want to tell the cool story about how the boss from Interplay challenged Alan, you guys, to war. Well, all he did was that Interplay had played against, I think it was Virgin Games, because Virgin Games was in the area at the time. I don't know if they even exist anymore, but Interplay, though, had challenged and won against Virgin in Paintball Wars. So we were sitting in the office on Bristol, and all of a sudden, Alan Adham's office window just filled up with paintballs. They were blasting him from. Brian Fargo was blasting him from his Viper outside, and basically challenged. That's how they challenged us to Paintball Wars. And so we went out to Green River, which is where the paintball place was at the time in Orange County, and basically stomped them into the ground. So we had taken, the night before, Alan and I ran over to Interplay at like midnight and wrote, we had just become Blizzard, so we had wrote Blizzard on the wall, on the front door of Interplay. Let me see if I have the image here. I showed it once before, so it probably is in this system. Let me look. And I also need to do this. I need to turn the P's off. Okay. Let's see if I can pull this up here. Where did I put it? Probably in photos. Doop doop doop. Where is the picture? Oh, there is the one of us. Here, I'll let you look at that while I'm looking for the other one. This is our paintball team. And cover that. But if you look at the two little kids, that's Loki and Thor, my boys. The taller one that's in the middle there, that is Thor when he was 7, I think, 6 or 7. So that's my Jason. Let me see if I can find the thing. But this was our whole paintball team. So on the far right there is Mike Morheim. You know, I'm in there somewhere. I'm either in there or I'm taking the picture. It's highly possible that I'm taking the picture. Yeah. I'm there somewhere because my kids are there. Yeah. But Bob Fitch is down there kneeling down with Mickey Nielsen there in front. You know, yeah. See if I can grab another image, the other image here. I know that I put it in here. I'm just not really sure where I put it. See, you guys distract me. I see how you are. Let's distract the boy. Oh, those are albums. Those are cats. Those are other things. That's the computer we built for this show. Maybe I didn't put it in here. I'll have to dig it up for next week then. But we'll probably do a history type thing next week as part of the talk. Oh, this is all the South Park stuff, so we have all that for next week. That's the theater. Yeah, apparently I didn't put it in this system. I thought I did though, because I thought I showed it. Oh well. Yeah, sometimes you do, sometimes you screw it up. But we'll find it. We'll find it next time. So yeah, so that's our paintball team right there. So, but with Loki and Thor there in the foreground. Fun days. You could do a lot more back then. It was a lot of fun. Let's turn the logos off here because it's too much. Okay, up. Yeah, well, it was my weekend, so. Yeah. We had a lot of fun. Thor got the goofiest grin ever. Meanwhile, Loki's like, "It's so bright out here." Yeah. No guest asking about Fallout 1 could uncover so much. Well, the thing is, and I get, oh, I forgot to turn this back on. Okay. The thing, and it still didn't go on. Okay, that's better. Forgot to, oh, how did the sun's music get turned off? I guess I just forgot to turn it back on. That is weird. Well, there's just a lot of it there as far as like the lore. There's so much lore and so much stuff, and I keep kicking myself because I haven't finished the book yet, and I've used the show as an excuse to distract me from it. So it's actually probably going to help once I go back and start working on it again. You know, so it is out there, and one day it will happen. But it's just yeah.
Spadag says, Yearjoy is a jukebox with cheat codes. Put in the right cheat code, and you'll hear the greatest stories ever.
Yeah, probably. Good point. Work. Yep. All right. So, like I said, yesterday, after work, I did not do anything on our game because I had to run to a science fair and then some other things that I had to do after the show yesterday. I didn't get back till late and got caught up working on something else. But when we left last time, we were working on our inventories system and getting everything lined up in it, which is kind of a hunt and peck, but not. What I was trying to figure out is where I'm missing stuff for sorting, because we had these are our sort items, which quest is in there, and I thought it would just pick it up, but apparently it didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a search the whole code set for some of the other words in there and see if I missed putting it somewhere. So let's look at some of this code. Okay, so there is amount. Okay, that is just the grabbing it. That is not the sorting it by. Let's look at the next one. That's also amount. Because I'm assuming that I just missed it in the... No, because here's our sort type. Sort by type. Oh, maybe... No, this would be... Oh, that may be what it is. I think it may be trying to do it, but... When I go through the menu, it's not putting the right word up for it. So if we say quest... And then let's go to our item that's one of our quest items, which is our pillar. Boop, 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 boop. Let's make sure that it is set here. It is not. So let's look at one of the other ones. We'll look at the armor again. See it. Does it have a name? It doesn't. It has it here. So did I assign it correctly? So if you end up using this program, this search capability is amazing. I really like it. Because you can put in anything and it'll go through every piece of code in the game and list everywhere it is, to where all you have to do is type on it. And it'll take you to where it is. Okay, so is type armor. Okay, this is type quest. So yes, this is set up correctly on this one. There's one piece. Fountain spurs. Fountain is okay. Our object is the piece 01. Yep. Okay. Check the other one. It is quest. Okay. Let's see if it actually does it now. Let's save. Let's close this. Do an execution. Doo-ba-doop-doo-da-doop-doo. Okay, wait for your screen to pop up. Make sure I have it on. I do. Okay. All right, let's go inventory. Now it's sorted by name right now. So by amount, by type, by price, by quest. But it's none of those guys are, none of those three pieces are quests. So why is it locking the first three down? But it seems to change it on everything else. Yeah. But none of those things are marked as quest items. Because this one here, this our pillar, our fountain piece, is the only one that technically is a quest item in the whole system right now.
Spad Dab says, do you have items marked as quest items in that inventory?
Yeah, it's all done where the two places I just looked. So if you see here where it says, here's our piece, it's marked as type quest. Nothing else is here. This one's a weapon. We got quest, weapon, consumable, armor, weapon, armor, and then this one's grayed out. So this, but it's still quest. So should still be sorting. Same thing with the one up here on the other one. Weapon, quest, weapon, consumable, armor, weapon, consumable. So yeah, everything's set right. What happens if we put more than one in there? We'll say we'll put 3 down here. Make that 3. Huh, interesting. There are a group of crows assembling on my front porch for some reason. They've just flown away. They just had an attempted murder on my front porch. Yeah, hopefully I'm not going to die. Birds on my porch? They're never on my porch. Okay. Bring it back up and see if adding more of them makes a difference. Then I'd have to think about, okay, why? Okay, so yeah, we got 3 of them in there. They are quest items. So if we search, yeah, for some reason, when it's sourced by quest, these first 3 are not marked. So this should be, let's see, those are knife. Red jelly, knife, and knife. Maybe the others are marked wrong. So knife is marked as weapon. Where's red jelly? Red jelly is a consumable. Straws. Oh, this is the other thing. Maybe because did we make this? Yeah, it's the pieces of is in the parent list. Did we put it up here though? Yeah, here it is. Here's the fountain. Nothing's grayed out on it, so undefined. It's on scale spring. Oh, yeah, well, it's a small queue. These are all small queues. Did I miss a setting somewhere? Price. I need a, no, here's quest is undefined. So that is our small queue. It is spelled correctly, is undefined. Quest, if quest is not undefined, then do this. God dang it, I hate the scrolling on this. All I want to do is move stuff. Quest, draw sprite, blah blah blah. Camera X, yeah, okay. Icon scale. Yeah, we're all good. Draw 15. Well, everything else is set exactly the same. And then these are the potions, but maybe I've missed something down here. Oh, okay. Probably missed one of these. Let's try this. Okay, quest. Yep. Okay, let's save that. Let's try that. Yes, if I should just suddenly disappear, then the crows have taken me away. I suppose it would be, as a meadow was never assembled. Yeah, there are only 2 of them that I saw. I didn't see any others, so technically, without 3, it's only an attempted meadow. Okay, let's see. Nope, those 3 for some reason still. So I have to look at red jelly, small knife, and red jelly and small knife for some reason are still getting put before quest items. But I think we needed this anyway. Okay. Poison, drunk, and that's things that the element potions can heal. So it is mana restore, mana health restore, defense, damage, quest. That all looks correct. Okay. Pieces in the, so it is a child of. It is up here as undefined defense. All those are there. Type, name, price, yep. Is in menu as show info. We will eventually have info on it. Let's look at the piece. Right now I just put defense and all that stuff is just regular. Oh, let's go to this one. Okay, so these, we've looked at all that, that's right, but do we miss something up here? My items, current item, sequence, menu with type, sort type comes by as name as the original. Drag items, item stock, 48 slots. Okay. Let's go to here. We just put that in, so that should be correct. This one. That is all correct. Sort type, name, amount, type, price, quest. Okay. Type, one arm quest, yep. Ailments, not under ailments. Items, name, sprite. Okay. Now this is the info. This is not. Yeah, this is not what I don't put quest there. That has to do with the info that we're feeding it from here. But it's definitely getting that. Because when we go into the game, and we do a rollover on it, it does put the information up for it. So it's reading that. That's not a problem. Oh, thanks for coming back, New Era. So for some reason, knives or some things are just being put in front. I mean, but it does. The quest sort does come up. Just for some reason, some things are being classified as them. So I don't know why. Because here's our types. We have 4 types. Oh, this is on. Oh, wait a minute. Did we put the code in? Yeah, we did. Okay. Yeah, so everything's there. Legendary armor worn. Okay. I could have swore we changed the wording on this one. Okay. There could maybe a possibility that I have 2 versions of this for some reason. Okay, it is a child of object parent. Okay, so it's getting this information from somewhere else, isn't it? Because we just changed the dialogue on that. Let's change that dialogue. And it didn't change. So there must be a second thing somewhere that we missed. So it should be Sprite and then O piece. OP01. That is correct. Best item. 3. That was correct. So move that back to 1. So Sprite Fountain 1. Yeah, there's no other settings on this that we use, so that should be correct. I think I'll be off for the night. I've had 2 glasses of wine, and wine makes wise men mistake words for thoughts. Oh, have a great Friday. Okay, Master Sprite, have a great weekend. Curiosa and Curiosa. Let's do some other checking. We're going to make this 0. Health is 0. Mana charge 0. Energy, wow, that's 0. We'll say price equals 1,000 gold. So his object is now all set with all of his stuff. Quest. So it should be Sprite full of plots. Those are all sprites. They're not objects. Health restored, defense, damage, quest. Put this down here. What did we forget? We now have a price, which is 1 billion goldies. It'll cost you a whole bunch of Goldie Hans. That's okay. Ideal build. Okay. Inventory. Survey says, where is it getting its info from? Is there a second piece I didn't see? No. All this is correct. It inherits the stuff from above. It is a correct object of the correct parent. It is in there because there it is right there. but it has the old. It has the old information on it. It doesn't have the current information on it. That is what is weird. This fountain piece is worth 20 gold. Now we've changed this to first fountain piece with 1,000 gold, and it didn't update on any of them. Now the numbers you see behind are the numbers of how many of each of the collectibles we have. I just need to bring those to the foreground and I'm glad they're out of the way right now because I have to be able to see the sprites. I'm a little confused as to why we are not getting the correct text and stuff, because one thing that we can do let's try this. Let me look at one of these objects again. It's in here. Yes, this is all he has. Long magical sword. Yep, that's the big one. Where's the little one? Where's the knife? Okay. So there's the code. Questions? It's the sprite, which doesn't do so good.
Spadab says, are you giving the code to the stink eye again?
Yes. It did it first. Must it's in this one, yeah, because this is all from the original, so it should have picked up everything here. And it does. It's a small font. Where is it saying to get the description? It is. This is the icon. It is quest. It should be up here. Yep. I cannot stay for long, but just dropped in to say I love the games you're worked on. Lost Vikings always is my heart as a game that helped me through some crap times. I'm glad that we can help. Lost Vikings is always a special one to me too, because it was the first game that I ever worked on from absolute conception to finished. So it's always one that has like, I don't know, it's just near and dear to my heart, and I can't chase that away. I like it. It's a good game. Sprite description -60. The sprite description comes up as originally empty. It's funny because I'm sure that a lot of the people that I've made games with over the years are laughing because I'm actually doing code now, or trying to do code. So it's there. This is the only place where sprite description even comes up. And what we need to do, let me open the game back up for a second. Let me copy write down what the description is, and we'll find out where it's hiding. It has a very sentimental value every day. Aside from that, why is the code checking for strings to determine whether it's a quest item or not? No, it's checking for the descriptions on the sprite. So you see the descriptions at the bottom? That's what it's checking for strings for to build the text at the bottom. So let me move this over here. Oh wait, it's still going to be in your guys' way, so I'll turn it off on your screen just for a second. What we will look for is fountain. Fountain piece 1 is what we will search for. Back here and say let's see if we actually spell it right. Let's try fountain first. So that's fountain piece 1 is the name of it. Okay, so this is where it's getting its name from in the game. Now, if we go check the other code, fountain piece 1, fountain piece 1. Fountain 1 is correct. That is correct. And fountain piece. Okay, so what we've just learned is that the original name is actually coming from here, not from the description. So it's not actually getting the description from that, which means that when it's showing on the screen here, what it's showing on the screen here is coming from something else. The thing that I keep changing that I think is supposed to do is the pop-up screen here. Well, we can't use that pop-up screen because I haven't resized it to fit the screen yet, or any of its parts, because I was trying to get this thing working first. And then got sidetracked by the fact that the sorting doesn't work. It is being put on there. If I were to click on it, then the big screen will come up, and that's where the fountain piece 1 stuff is and everything's there, but it's too big to see on the screen, so we'll have to add it still. And we can't, I don't think we can get out of it without, oh, okay, we can, good. But all this code seems to be right. I just don't understand why it's not plane friendly. Because we have quest as a sort type. All of our sort types are here. Okay. So weapon, no. Interesting. Maybe that's what's missing. Oh, okay. We might be reading sort types wrong. I think that we need it up here, not down here. I think if we don't have quest up here, then it can't do its thing. Give it a second to read up. So type and sort type. Why did this one not read up? Well, worst comes to worst, it'll crash, right? Not like we haven't dealt with crashes before. Oh, because we have it in there twice, that's why. It confuses it. So we do have it in there. Those are items. Type is weapon. Okay. Elements, where it's not an element. Yeah, so it's everywhere it's supposed to be. Okay, so those three are weapons. Yep, 4 are weapons. Okay, it is a type. Quest is there. Yep. Type on this one as well. Yep, for those 4. Yep, create. There as well. Yeah. Yep. 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 Weapon is not down here. Come on. Okay, let's see what happens. No, we broke it. Yeah, we put it back. Aside from that, why is the code? I'm sorry, it just window just popped up in front. Why is the code checking for string? Okay, what are we talking about? We got that to crash. Let's see, what was the crash here? Object parent variable not set before request not set. Well, that's because object parent draw. Yeah, so it is finding it. It's just not updating. I think I need to fix that window before. Yeah, it should be based on the item properties. The item is set as a. Next, if we look at the individual items, maybe if I put a type in here, put a type. The others have a type. Type would be here. So smaller bread, blah, 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 blah. Description, name, text width, yep. And description. Icon scale. But the individual scripts themselves, or sprites themselves, don't have anything on them. This type is for collision only. That's not for. It's not for. 9 box doesn't matter. This is where everything's inheriting from. This is what we're going through just now. Rock system fountain, which it does draw it. Said exactly like everything else says it's supposed to. Because this is the text that's at the bottom. This is what it should be talking about. Sprite width. Ailments. Here's our types, our 4 different types: weapons, armor, consumable. No, it has not gone at all. I mean, because I know, like, even for digging, which is the, like I said, the game I play absolutely every single day, is...
Spare Doug says, problem is not in the drawing script. Aren't types and item properties?
Good point. To finish the question, though, no, knowing how games make do not ruin games for me. Because I have the ability to turn that off, in all honesty, in my head. And you want to be able to do that. Now, if a game gives me a problem, yes. Then it's like my brain goes to, okay, where is it broken? What is the deal? So let's look at something in a different place then. Let's look. That's the town. That's it. That's that. Let's look here. Nope, this is all correct. And all their properties are set right. And they're added to the master list. That is correct. 0 pieces 1. Yeah, it's spelled correctly. So what this does here is it builds the array or the grid up until height. So that's why you have to put height in there, because that's what he's used as a blocker. So all of this should show up. So the type should be quest should be in there. No, I did use a Q and not a G, so good. I just, for some reason, got the idea, did I spell it wrong? Oh, funny. I have all this trouble because I spelled something wrong. It would just crack me up. But the item properties are set right here. Wait a minute. Oh, no. Wait a minute. There's supposed to be stuff here. Something is missing. This stuff here, but not with this front. There's a different front end where that's supposed to be there. Okay, let's make sure I'm in the right place. It might be in the controllers where that stuff is. Let's take a look. Oh, it's in the controller. Okay. This is all in the controller. We've actually looked through the controller, and yes, it is all here. Ah, wait. Type, price, name. No, there's not a sort here. Okay, background, because here's our backdrop. Then we get to our layers for the pieces. Draw item info, because that's the info, yeah. Let's type in name. So yeah, so it does pull to the item type. Quest, yep. Weapons type, yep. So name, type. Step real quick. Okay, this is if we even hit this. All this does is if we hit the button for I, it brings the menu up. And then sort inventory, my items. Where's my items? That should be pretty straightforward, so I think that's just in the list. Yeah, here's what it adds our items. Item sprite. Item amount. Menu type. And it would have to be in the piece itself. We would have to give an item type in the piece itself. I'm not sure that if I just put type here, because it's not in any of the other ones. It wasn't in the attributes for any of the other ones or the create tool. I don't know. I don't think that's going to do anything. I think it's going to crash it if anything else. Okay, it didn't seem to crash it. I have crashed it a couple times, but yeah, so it's not. Yeah, see, I don't know. Somewhere it seems it's assigning it somewhere. We'll figure it out in the next 9 minutes. We spent an hour on it and it's not done. So the question is if they're set there, why is the sort not able to read them? Yes, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. And if these ones, we can go back and we can look at the knife again. Here's the object for the knife. Just making sure. It's not even set here. So it's not in the create. Nothing's in variables. Physics events we've already looked at. Zero. I need no name. He has not been auto-modded, I think at all today. I think what I'm going to have to do is this. I'm going to have to grab the original code again. Rework it. The original. Let me look at this back here. There's some place I forgot to look. Okay, go back to what we were just looking at. Clear this.
Sparedax says, just a quick heads up. 5 minutes to raid time.
Thank you, sir. It's missing. here's the problem. I think this is type, no. Attribute object. Okay. Third check. Let's go with the first check. Grid with false, blah, 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 no grid found. Okay, this is refine the grid. We're missing it'd be funny if I accidentally deleted something. We are missing this. Why are we missing this? This is this is not the right one. I'm looking at the wrong one. That's why it doesn't look right. We want this one. Yeah, this is the correct one. So I need to go back to this one. And then over the weekend and figure out what's going wrong. Because that something's seriously not right. Plummy pretzels. Yeah, I have not found those yet. I know they are out there. I know they are trying to come. It's up 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Actually, it's 3 now. So let's go ahead and wrap this up because it's just frustrating me at this point. Not changing nothing. They taste more like sausage than salami. Let's put our logos back up. How long? Okay, we have plenty of time to get to the next screen. Very frustrating day, but hopefully I'll be able to get it worked out by Monday. I do have a lot of stuff to do for the show, but on this weekend. So we will see how it works out. But we have 2 minutes. It's very frustrating. I think I did several things that probably were the wrong things to do. Number one is I resized it before I had all of our pieces into it, which was probably not a good thing. I think I need to go back to the original tutorial code, then import a lot of our pieces into that tutorial code before trying to shrink it down. Taking notes, of course, but yeah. But yeah, so that is an issue. So let me grab this real quick. Yes, resizing shouldn't, well, you would think not, but who knows? I've had these kind of situations before where it's like, okay, well, this shouldn't affect anything, but do this. And then guess what? It affects something. Then you want to kill everybody in the room. Okay, let's go ahead and go over here.